How do you know if your next product is going to sell or bomb? This particular video is not going to involve any fortune telling or any crystal balls, but it's going to involve 5 very short and quick methods to determine with as good a clarity as you can get beforehand whether or not the next product that you release to your audience is going to sell well or not sell at all. None of these methods involve surveys. Those of you who've been here on the CLV Boost channel or have been in the CLV Boost Academy um, are well aware that I'm a fan of surveys. I'm a fan of actually talking to your buyers. I'm a fan of exploring those options with them. This doesn't involve any of that at all. In fact, all of the methods I'm about to show are methods that, number one, I'm using in my own business today, my own multi-million-dollar e-commerce company here. Number two, are methods that don't even involve direct communication with your existing customers. They involve just looking at data that you already have available to you right now, or intuitions that are probably in your head already right now that you can leverage to get a sense for if your next product is one that is worth releasing, or to give you ideas around what to create next for a product. And the same goes for content. This could go for a blog post or a YouTube video you want to film, but we could talk today about products. I've been thinking a lot about this lately because lately I've been getting into inventory. So I've in the self-protection space, spending tens of thousands of dollars on tactical knives and different kind of self-protection gear, as well as stocking up on DVD sets and going farther into the inventory and inventory management game than I've ever had to in terms of managing a lot of different SKUs, a lot of different units in the warehouse, and deciding on whether or not to try to sell a product is really a decision that involves a pretty big investment, warehouse space and different kinds of shipping fees to different kinds of locations when we bundle it into other packages and things along those lines. So this is really floating around in my mind a lot, and I thought that these strategies would translate well for you folks. So the first method is going to be looking at time on page. So this doesn't involve surveys at all. If you take a look at your Google Analytics, which I hope to goodness many of you are leveraging already on your existing blogs. If you aren't, then you can go ahead and do that for free, Google Analytics. If you take a look at the content that is on your page now, and the content that gets organic traffic today, or maybe even just gets traffic from your email list. It'd be great if you could have that separated with Tag Manager, but you don't have to. We don't need to go that far today. If you take a look at the content that's on your site, whether it's videos, whether it's articles, whatever the case may be, where is the time on site longest? In other words, what kind of material are people having so much fun reading about? Are they getting pulled into so much that they're staying on your site for longer than they normally do with other content? Look at the real outliers. What you can also do here is look at the opposite of outliers in a good way, and you can look at outliers in the bad way. You can say, what kind of content are people leaving immediately? What kind of headlines are just making people know that this is boring, or this is silly, or this is not for me? And what are the kinds of headlines and what are the kinds of content? What's the type of material you're offering there? What are the benefits you're talking about there that are keeping people on page? So determining what's keeping people on page is a strategy that you can use to help determine whether or not your product idea is a good one or a bad one. It's one little bit of your kind of intuitive inclinations that you can tune in with. This second one is going to be products that have sold well previously. So in some of the digital marketing world, this could be products that you've sold for other folks. So in the affiliate marketing space, so if you sell products through other affiliates on Amazon, or if you offer other programs, I know that eBay is an affiliate program and Netflix is an affiliate program, or if you're just selling through ClickBank and you're offering software or downloadable courses, video courses, and things like that on ClickBank. If you take a look at what you sold that hit super hard with your audience, that got people excited, that got people to just buy, and had a massive monetary return compared to what most of your other promotions are. If you grabbed those promotions, that previous data of promotions that had a way higher return on your email or whatever your traffic driving method was, than your other promotions, that's a good cue as to what might be good products for you to use in the future. Same thing, we can look at the opposite of the outliers. We can look at the products that maybe you thought were a good idea but totally tanked, and we can see what their similarities are as well. But we can look at patterns of time on page for good content and patterns for affiliate products or even your own products that have sold really well. Much higher than average ongoing return for those offers. Let's say normally when you send out an email, you make, $2,000, and maybe this offer you made 4,500. That's a good outlier. More than 100% sort of higher return than your aggregate average, broadcast message ROI. Hey, that sounds pretty good to me. Another one that you can take a look at is your emails. So which emails have the highest open rates and have the highest click-through rates, and what do those emails have in common? Go look through your system, whether you're using GetResponse, you're using Infusionsoft, you're using a larger, more robust system like Pardot or ExactTarget or something along those lines. They all allow for similar functionality. Which emails have the highest open rate? Which emails have the highest click-through rate? You can look at your good outliers, you can look at your bad outliers, and you can ask yourself, are there patterns here? Is there a certain kind of content or a certain subset of topics that whenever I talk about it, people are just opening and clicking, and they almost can't help themselves? Is there a pattern there? And is there also a pattern around words, topics, terms that really get people to avoid your emails and really do not get people excited to open and do not get people excited to click? We can look at, again, kind of the top 5% and the bottom 5%, or the top 10% and the bottom 10%. So we can look at our best products that we've ever promoted, our worst. We can look at our best time on page we've ever had and our worst. We can look at our best open rates and click-through rates, and we can look at our worst. Similarly, this is an interesting topic, but we can take a look at what are the offers that we've been able to promote evergreen that have worked really well. So if you're going to invest time in creating another product, so for me right now, I'm working on hiring a film crew in Philadelphia. I'm working on hiring another film crew in Stockholm, up in the Netherlands area there, to go out and meet up with different black belts and military trainers and other martial arts experts around the self-protection side of things. This is going to be an investment. The people who are teaching the courses are not cheap. Really good video folks that sort of know what they're doing, who aren't just, wedding experts, but can actually handle, real moving sort of material, not kind of still shot stuff. They're not cheap either. So it's an investment to create a product. If you're going to make something, maybe you're better off if it's something that's going to sustainably have impact. It won't just kind of be a flash in the pan, do pretty well for a little while, and then sort of fizzle away. Take a look at what are the evergreen products, services, offerings that you have right now. This could be your own, or this could be some affiliate offerings that you also promote. Whatever the case may be. What is sort of your ride or die, always a good option, evergreen offer? I know for our own e-commerce company, there's a couple offers that we have that just don't seem to fatigue like other ones do. They just don't. We just promote them and we promote them and we promote them. And, unless we go too hard, we're really always going to be able to get a solid number of sales out of these certain subset of offers. What are those for you? If you have a lot of different products, whether you're selling digital or physical goods, what are the sort of old faithfuls for you? And think through that. What do they have in common? Is it the length of the product? Is it the type of product? Is it the type of benefit it's delivering? What do your best evergreen offers have in common? You might look at the opposites there too, but really I'd like to look at the positive outliers on this one. And lastly, we can look at social engagement. So social engagement is a fantastic topic to look at in terms of determining what might be a good or a bad product idea. It's not the be-all end-all, but it's one more little mode of getting some insight into what are the core desires and what sort of stirs the souls of your audience, of your customers, your prospects. So if you go on social, again, we can look at our worst 10%, we can look at our best 10%. We can say, what are the YouTube videos that by themselves, without us doing any crazy promoting, just have gotten tons of views? And on one of my martial arts channels, those are videos that have celebrity names. So martial arts celebrity folks who we've sort of done breakdowns of their matches and things along those lines, or featured them in our videos featured world champions on our channel or something like that, those by themselves tend to generate tremendous traffic on YouTube. And so what are those for you? Similarly, if you go on Facebook or you go on Twitter or whatever your core channels are, what are the clear outlier posts? The messages that you didn't do anything special with, but they just absolutely rocketed off. Are there particular topics, particular trends that make for the good ones or make for the bad ones? And if you look through these 5 lenses, you're very likely to have a better inclination as to, is this product going to be the best use of my limited resources? Is this going to be the best product to resonate with my audience? If you go through these 5 lenses, which again don't involve any surveys, you could do this in one evening, one afternoon. You could get a basic understanding of all 5 of these areas. Ask yourself, are the product ideas you're thinking through now resonating with what you've learned from this raw evidence from your own various social channels, websites, emails, etc. So these are strategies I'm being forced to use myself as inventory space becomes more and more expensive and we're managing dozens and dozens of physical SKUs and shipping thousands of things out every month. And even if you're in the digital space, thinking about where to allocate those resources, it is important. And so before you create a product, if you don't have time for a survey, think through these methods and hopefully that'll be helpful for you. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to throw down any questions that you have in the comments section or subscribe if you're interested in more marketing automation and optimization here at CLV Boost. Thanks again. I'll catch you in the next show.